Hey everyone, I hope you guys are all doing well out there. Let's go ahead and talk about a fourth stimulus check, or the possibility that a fourth stimulus check might be passed in some sort of future spending bill, because the news is out there and I know you respect the opinions here. So I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give you exactly what I'm thinking about the chances of a fourth stimulus check. We do know that President Biden, the White House, and the government is planning on a $2 to $3 trillion 2021 spending bill. And all the news is whether or not another stimulus check is going to be included in that spending bill. We know a lot of infrastructure and a number of other things are going to be in there. But will the stimulus checks be in there? I can also tell you this, that a group of 21 Democratic senators sent off a letter to Joe Biden specifically asking him in this upcoming spending bill to include more stimulus checks to the American people. In addition, that those checks would be multiple checks, recurring payments. A quote from that letter is, "One more check is not enough. Another one-time round of checks would provide a temporary timeline, but when that money runs out, families will once again struggle to pay for basic necessities." In the letter to Biden, it went on to say, recurring direct payments until the economy recovers will ensure that people can meet their basic needs and provide racially equitable solutions and shorten the length of the recession. So then, with that said, where do I stand on my beliefs in the chances that another stimulus check will be given out to the American people, or perhaps in this situation, recurring stimulus check? Here's the thing. All the way back in the summer of 2020, that's when we received our first stimulus check. That was the $1,200 stimulus check. And when you look at that check and when it was given to the American people, you need to consider the support and approval for that check. It was very high. I mean, nearly everyone agreed that the American people needed help and needed money. Unemployment was through the roof at that point. We really didn't know what was going on. There was so much instability. So many people couldn't pay for their bills. And so that check was largely supported across the spectrum. And then we got our second stimulus check. And that one was that sort of hard fought one where Donald Trump was president and he was trying to get it through with Steven Mnuchin, and they couldn't get it together with Nancy Pelosi. A lot of politics were being played out. And then eventually Donald Trump lost the presidential election and Joe Biden's coming in and we have a new Congress coming in, and eventually they come to a deal. But the stimulus check is only a $600 stimulus check, which was just like crumbs on the table of what they were supposed to be giving us, which was a $2,000 stimulus check. So that was the second one. And there was broad approval for that too. The third one had a lot of approval to it because many Congress people felt like the $600 second stimulus check simply was no good. I mean, it really did not meet the needs that they were saying they were going to meet. And you had Biden supporting getting the money up to $2,000. And even with all of that support, they still wanted to restrict the stimulus payments. And we had some Democratic senators like Steven Mnuchin and Kyrsten Sinema who didn't even necessarily want to vote for that either, even though they really saw the need for it. Now we need to look at the support and the approval of a fourth stimulus check. Here's the thing. Even though there's 21 Democratic senators who are petitioning Joe Biden to say that he wants more stimulus included, right now the support for a fourth stimulus check or recurring stimulus checks to the American people is really on the fringe. So we're not seeing a broad support or a broad approval for another stimulus check, especially amongst those who are in the middle or conservative. But even those Congresspeople who are Democrats who are a little bit more conservative, they're definitely not supporting a fourth stimulus check. And the reason why is because they're going forward towards normalcy. So we're seeing things opening up now. Unemployment, the numbers are falling for unemployment. Businesses are getting back in order. We see state governments opening. I live here in New York. Every other day, I'm getting an email from the government of New York talking about how more and more things are opening up and they're loosening regulations. So regulations are going away, things are opening up, businesses are hiring, unemployment is going lower, stimulus checks have been given out, and now even the moderate Democrats who really didn't want to do the third one really, really, really don't want to do a fourth one. So even if we see some pressure, and that's how some news organizations are going to say it to you, oh, pressure to Joe Biden for a fourth stimulus check. That's true, but it's really fringe pressure, which is not enough. You need some more broad line support for something like this. So there's going to be this new spending bill in 2021, which has been called an infrastructure bill, and they're going to try to get that bill through at about $2 to $3 trillion. I don't see another stimulus check being included in that bill. If the Democrats or the Republicans really wanted to get a fourth stimulus check to the American people, they needed to include it in the previous reconciliation bill. They should have included some sort of a clause or a qualifier that would have allowed the American people to get another stimulus check. For example, everyone's going to get a $1,400 stimulus check, which is what they did. And then if the unemployment rate stays above 6.5% by May 1st, the American people are going to get a second stimulus check. So that would be a qualifier. They didn't include a qualifier, which means they didn't really think about giving the American people another stimulus check, or they didn't include any recurring wording in that as well. So now with a lot less support, a lot less broad line support, only fringe support. And when I say fringe, it's not negative. I'm not trying to be negative in it. I'm just saying it's a very small group of people towards one political ideological direction that are aiming for this, which doesn't mean that the totality of the Congress people are going to vote for it, which is, I'm just trying to deliver you the truth. So in my opinion, I don't see another pure stimulus check being mailed out or given to a direct deposit to the American people if things stay status quo. If everything stays the way it is right now, if the pandemic doesn't get any worse and things continue to move forward as they are right now, I just don't see it. However, if things change, then obviously things will change. It doesn't mean you won't get any more money, though, because I do think that they're going to try to put more programs in the spending bill that will help provide financial aid to many different Americans in many different places. Of course, they're talking about student loans, low income or no income individuals, individuals who have food stamps or WIC, individuals who need housing or renting help. There's a number of different areas in which they're going to pump money in. But one of those areas that I don't see them doing it is a pure stimulus check. I don't see it on the horizon, in my opinion. Nothing to me matches up with that. Looking at the Congress people, looking at how they did the last three, looking at the amount of support for it, how difficult it was to get the last one done. And now with even less support, nearly impossible. They'd have to get it through another reconciliation bill, which in and of itself would be interesting, because how could they put the same exact line item of a pure stimulus check in one reconciliation bill and then put that same budgetary clause in another reconciliation bill? I don't even know if that is playing by the rules. I mean, I know there's ways that Congress people can twist things, but in my opinion, I don't think reconciliation clauses are even written in such a way to allow something to happen in the same fiscal year. So I don't see it happening. Unfortunately, I know many of you could use one and need one, and it would be very helpful, but I would not get your expectations up for it. I have seen some channels out there that are basically running the gamut, multiple videos, one after another. I mean, sometimes even 4 or 5 in a day with fourth stimulus check on it. And it's basically like talking about a fairy tale at this point. It's next to non-existent. The chances are extremely low. So I just wanted to share with you that truth. I know a lot of people have asked me about that. What are my thoughts on it? I'm just giving you my thoughts. I know it's not necessarily what everyone wants to hear, but I'm not here just to tell you what you want to hear, but I'm here to tell you what I really believe based off of the facts and the data. So that's everything I think about the fourth stimulus check. If anything changes from it, if you see a title come up from me in the future about fourth stimulus check and how it could be on the way, you better click on it, because I'm not going to be doing any clickbait here. I mean, there's going to be a real reason why I'm putting that out there. So, but right now I just don't see it. All right. I hope you guys have an excellent day. If you have any questions or anything, leave that in the comment area below. Thank you all for coming along with me. As always, I will catch you next time.